but I'm going to not record all of these because I really want to help people get on, ask questions, it be interactive. The likelihood of someone actually watching a recording is slim to none. So just so you guys know, I'm not talking about a recorded event, but for those that are watching this recording, you're not, right? You're in the 1%, but the 99% of people that say they'll watch a recorded training won't. And I'm actually in that percentage because I think it's boring watching the recording. But I do like to have people jump online. If Shannon is on here, massive shout out to Shannon. She's over in New Zealand. It is 11 p.m. where she is, or 10 past or 5 past or whatever the time is. So massive shout out to her. But we're talking 3 Club. Thank you for those that want to be part of this. I think obviously getting to SDVF and qualifying are the first steps towards creating, I guess, milestones in your business. But 3 Club really shows that you've got a duplicating business, which is the art of what we're doing. So many people can come in and so many people are great at getting customers. So many people are great at getting team members. And then, right, if I don't get it all, right, that's totally fine. And I will quiz you on what's on the rest of it, Jay. I'm kidding. I don't really care, right? Your business is your business. If you want to be successful, you watch it. If you don't, then you won't watch it, right? It's totally up to everyone on this call. And I was just making a joke because I just know that I don't watch your training recordings. I think the art of this is truly duplicating, right, what you're doing in this business and not necessarily what you're good at, right? Because I would have a team with of people that could get a few customers every month, but not a lot, right? Because that's not my strength. Customers in my business come to me a lot. I'll do posts about the product. I'll do posts about, transformations. I'll do posts about my own health and how it's helped, and I'll get a few customers, but it's not my strong suit. My strong suit is recruiting. My strong suit is duplicating that and being able to help other people gain team members and do that because it's my passion, it's my strength, it's what I'm good at, right? And you can say you suck at recruiting, Desi, but I want to help you with verbiage because if you say you suck, guess what? You're going to suck. Yeah, it's about changing your perspective and finding where the missing link might be, right? Missing link, might be in verbiage. Missing link might be in following people up. Missing link might be in what I'm going to talk about tonight. Sorry, I've got Tic Tacs in my mouth. With finding your tribe and really understanding who they are, which I'm going to touch on. But first, I'm going to map out what 3 Club looks like because so many people think it's this big, scary thing. Don't really know how else to put it. And so, people think, it's, so much out of my reach. But once you hit 3 Club, then I guess it's about you've got a duplicating system that's obviously working because you've been able to help at least 3 people get to SDVF and also 3 people qualify. So you obviously have something that's working. You have a duplicating system. If any of you guys have been to Simon Mitchell's events over the last week or 2, he's been in Brisbane and Auckland, and I think this weekend he did Sydney and Melbourne. He talks about find a system that works for you, and it's about doing that every day. It's not about looking to someone like, Joe, or looking to someone like me or someone else in the business going, what are they doing? And I call it the bright, shiny object jump around, right? You see things. If you just pick something, anything works. You think Adam's someone special. He doesn't use social media, which is probably the easiest way to be able to recruit. He talks to people. Like if you've ever been anywhere with Adam, you're like, okay, we're going to get there in 10 years' time because he has to talk to everyone in the coffee shop, right? Right, he just loves to chat to people, and he finds he's great at asking questions. He's great at sharing what he does. So he's mastered his strategy is how can I perfect my story? Yeah, and how can I share that with as many people face to face as I can? And obviously he gets them on Facebook from there. Me, right, working 3 jobs in the beginning, the only people I had contact with was the people I worked with because outside of work, all I did was sleep and eat and repeat and continue, right? And I didn't want to recruit any of my friends. So you have to pick a strategy that works for you and stop jumping around. But 3 Club, what does it look like? Okay, so you are here. Now, most people in this equation, in this group are SDVFs. I was going to make it, you had to be SDVF first, but if you're not there, you're probably close. And you know what? If you're not there, then you've obviously got to go get an attitude to look towards what this could be. I think what we do I'm going to put this bluntly, what we do terribly as human beings is we limit people based on our limitations, right? So, you guys want, right? You guys want someone like Brian Marsh to come into your business. You want someone like Denise. You want someone like Joe, Katrina Stark, Marissa, right? You look up to these leaders. You want someone like that in your business. You don't want someone like me in your business. I'd drive you insane. But you want someone that gets it as much as you. First of all, right, you've got to stop putting limitations on yourself, but you want someone like that. You get someone like that, it'll scare the hell out of you because you're like, oh my God, I've got so many limitations. Why do they get it? Like, why are they going so fast? Oh my God, right? And we put limitations on other people. I think when we've got a strategy and a system to give them, right, if someone wants to work, they're going to work. I think it's not about, you don't get it, like, get out of my way. Like, people will be inspired at different levels of the journey. But if you want someone like that, gets it as much as you do, that you're up at 9 o'clock at night on a training call, then you've got to stop putting limitations on yourself. But then when someone like that comes in, right, I don't talk about DVF 10 days, SDVF 40 days, right? That's all there. It's all common knowledge. But I'm like, let's do this. If someone comes in and they're like, I want this, let's do this as fast, as quickly as possible. Right? We want to help set up for success. Now, it's not a race, but there's some nice money on the table. It's about creating momentum. It's about creating a business story. Yet, if you have limitations on yourself, I promise you, you will put those limitations on someone else. So stop, right? I can't help you directly with that. That's a personal journey. It always was for me, but that's what I did in the beginning. I had so many self-confidence limitations that I put that onto my team because I was like, oh my God, you can't go too fast. Like, that's just how it happens, right? Subconsciously. Consciously, I didn't know I was doing it, right? So if we have limitations, so first of all, address those. But first of all, understand what 3 Club looks like so you can get in your head and you can visualize it every day, but what it's going to give you. So I can't put money on it. Right, I can't say that this is exactly to the standard of what you'll be earning, but at 3 Club, I was earning about $1,800. Okay, I had quite a good business at 3 Club. I had a very good customer base myself, and I had people that were strongly qualified. Okay, not the bare minimum of 1,800, but they were strongly qualified. So at 3 Club, I was earning 1,800. Some people only earn 1,000. Get off a say between 1,000 to 1,500. I was earning a bit more. I think Kat was earning like over $2,000 at 3 Club. It just depends at what level that people are qualifying. If they're doing the bare minimum of 1,800 or they're doing over that, or you're a bare minimum 3 Club or you got 5 clubs, right? The company will only say that you're a 3 Club, right? But you might be 5 Club. Like they say, Kira and Adam 100 clubs because that's all, that they recognize to. But like Adam's like 350 and, Kira's like 300, so it just shows where are you on that 3 Club spectrum. But bare minimum of 3 Club is that you yourself are an SDVF. Okay, and really how I'm teaching SDVF, and I did that really long post if you cared to watch it or, read it, and I showed the system broken down. Took me a really long time to type out on my phone. But really, I'm really conscious about how I represent the system. And in the beginning, okay, how I did SDVF quickly, Miranda, I think Miranda got there in less time than me. I'm no one special. I'm just saying, she was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm like, honestly, just be ignorant on fire and we'll teach you, right? I have no idea what we're doing either, but let's go, right? So that it's 4,000 points, but do it the smart way. Yeah, I came into this and I had, let's just say 1,500 points myself. Yeah, and then I came in and I launched my business within my first 10 days. Okay, I launched it 3 times in 10 days. We didn't have Zoom, so it wasn't this fun and easy. So I launched it 3 times in person, mind you. So in 10 days, I had my brother, Kirsten, Matt, and another guy by the name of Nathan. Okay, in 10 days. all by just launching and also inviting to events and sharing, hey, I have no idea if this could be for you. This is what I'm up to. And I didn't share it this nicely. I probably spewed on a good handful of people. I did on Kirsten anyway, right? And all I did was teach these guys to get to DVF. So it's about perspective changing. Instead of people saying, I need a team member, I want a team member, it's like, how can I get in people's heads that in the next 11 days, it's the 20th, in the next 11 days, how can I help 2, 3, 4, 5, 10? I'm not going to put a limit on you. How can I help at least one put $350 at least in their bank account? How can I help 4 people? How can I help a single mum put $350 extra in a bank account? Right? How can I help, this family over here pay for their product cheaper? How could I help someone put around about that much money in their bank account? Because that's DVF. If you get there in 10 days, you get the bonus, and you've at least got 3 customers. So that's around about $250 in retail profit, right? So I rounded up $350. Yeah, $350. It's about 183 it used to be, to 250 depending on the product, plus the bonus. So I just rounded up. Yeah, how can I help someone? It changes your perspective in your mind from like expectation and want to like, wow, that could actually help someone change their life. That could actually help, them pay for a grocery bill or pay for a bill, or it changes your perspective of, I don't need a team member. I want to help someone. Right? And I get that none of you are like that, but that's the verbiage I hear come out of so many people's mouths. I want to get to SDVF, but I need a team member. Why not just think abundantly from the very beginning? Why not just think abundantly of like, imagine if I could help change 1, 2, 5 people's lives. Imagine if I just shared the possibility of what this possibly could be for them. And maybe it could be. Maybe it's not. It's about, what does Linda say? Like just not having any expectation on any outcome and just sharing from that positive space. So you are SDVF first, right? That is the first goal. You can't be 3 Club without you being SDVF, and then also qualifying your business. So without going into too much detail, because there are many links on how to qualify your business, it is $1,800 worth of sales as a bare minimum. Okay, going through your business. Who counts towards your qualification is any of your personal orders. So any orders under myself, okay, of my personal orders, as in my product, or any customers that I have. And then anyone that is VF and DVF that is under you, okay? And it goes something like this, yeah? So say this person is a DVF and they have a VF, yeah? Then those 2 people, their orders and their customer orders are gonna count for you. It stops at the first SDVF. So if this person's SDVF and they have a DVF and a VF, these people count for this person, okay? So it cuts off at the first SDVF. So say this person's a DVF, but 2 lines down, that's an SDVF, then these people will count for you, but anyone under that SDVF, which can happen, right? Many people have overtaken many people in this business. That's the beauty of it, right? It is not a binary system MLM company. I know many people that are in them, and it's very capped. Whereas Joe, Denise, any of you are in my business at some level or point, you can all out-earn me and overtake me, build a wider business, right? Build a wider business and you can out-earn me. And I challenge any of you to, because then it makes me work harder. I'm super competitive secretly. In my head I am. So that goes to show. So you want to become self-qualified, but to be honest, and I'm always honest with you guys, I am not self-qualified. To be self-qualified, you need around 21 to 25 customers. Now, massive shout out to Denise, Greg, Taku, and Lindsay. If you guys are in here, they're in the top people in the company, like honestly, in Australia and New Zealand, that have 30 plus customers that are self-qualified. Massive congrats to you. That's not me. I think I have 17 customers, My customer count will always fluctuate. Some people go, some people come. I've had customers since day one stay with me. 3 years on, they're still on the product. That's awesome. That's created raving fans, good customer care. I always get referrals from those. But people come and go. I'm not the person that's built a 50, 60, 70 plus customer base in 3 years. That's just not me, right? But I'm not self-qualified. I almost am, right? I would do about $1,600 myself, and then the rest I've always gained from gaining team members and helping them move up the ranks. And I've got DVFs and VFs, actually probably no VFs unless they're brand new, but DVFs in my team that have never made it to SDVF don't want to. They're happy getting the product cheaper, and that's just them, right? So 80, 15, 5. 80% of your business will do 5% of the work. 80% of your business will be these people that get their product a bit cheaper. They're happy sitting there. They help you qualify. They have built-in raving fan customers, right? They love the product. They share it every now and again, but they don't want to be business builders. But you guys are, right? You've put your hand up for 3 Club, therefore you want to be a business builder. So your job is to work the numbers and find the other business builders. The only way you do that is by following the system and creating the funnel. As terrible as that sounds, I'm like, I have this thing with aversion to saying the word funnel, but putting as many people in that funnel as you can that you are talking to, okay, to be able to share this business with. So $1,800. That's step 2 in becoming a 3 Club member. Step 1, SDVF, okay? Getting there within your fast track period is awesome. If you don't and you miss out, then the world didn't end, right? And you can get there the cumulative way. Obviously, you have to do twice as much work, okay? But you get to do it over any amount of time. Or if you're in that boat, ask your upline and you can do a resub. You only get one every 12-month period. So you really have to be in action to make that restart count. Okay, so step 1 is SDVF. Okay, step 2 is qualify your business. Then all you have to do then is teach both of those skills. So of course, just like you share the product with people, you have a story. Yeah, it's because you take the product, right? You feel the benefits and you share what you're excited for. You share what you found. You share other people's testimonials. Same with the business, right? You do. You get to SDVF, you qualify. You teach other people to do the very same thing. Get to SDVF and qualify. Okay, that is why the art of duplicating comes from teaching. It doesn't come from saying and telling. It comes from doing and teaching. So first of all, we go first, right? As the leader goes, the team will follow, and then we teach it. So you, SDVF, right? And that's why helping you get to SDVF with SC in mind is such a very good thing to be able to reach 3 Club, because you're already starting to grow a team. So to get to SC, you need to help 2 people get to SDVF and a person to DVF, right? So then to go on to teach other people to then get to SDVF, then to qualify their business. It's not about pushing porridge up a hill. I want to be really, really, really clear, right? It's not like, okay, I've got 3 team members. They're all going to get to SDVF and they're all going to qualify. In a perfect world, right, if you live in the Wizard of Oz, that would work, right? That would happen. You don't. You don't live in Kansas. Yeah, is that where she's from? You don't live in, where does she go? The Yellow Brick Road, where does it take her? Don't know. Can't remember. Obviously wasn't paying attention, right? You don't live in that world. Oz, of course, the Wizard of Oz. You don't live in that world. It's not perfect. Not everyone wants this as much as you, but you will find people if you keep plugging people into that system and staying consistent. People say, why are you so successful? Why do you have how many team members do you have? How many people? I'm like, I've been in 3 years. If you're comparing yourself, you've been in a month to my 3 years, we're not on level playing fields, like first and foremost, right? Yeah, I've been in 3 years. So I've been able to share this for 36 months. You've been able to share it for 1. Yeah, but I do, right? Every month I make myself that challenge and that goal, 3 to 5 new team members. That is like my non-negotiable. Does it happen every month? No, right? In a perfect world, would it? Of course. But if you're getting, right, and following that system, 3 Club, honestly, help. And you'll be SC. If you're 3 Club, right, you will be automatically SC unless it all came from one leg. Now, this is the only time of your business that they will allow all qualifiers to be in one leg. So say you get a rock star, right? Say there's someone like Joe or Denise or Katrina, and you help them get to SDVF, and then they're really awesome and they're on fire, and they help 3 people come on, and this person gets to SDVF and then they're awesome too, and then they bring someone, and then they get to SDVF, and then so on. So it goes, right? It's the only time that it can be down one leg. Okay, the company is very adamant, 2/3 rule, right? 2/3 of it can come, right? Because it's teaching you to build a strong, sustainable business. Okay, is you look at the width of your team, and that is the foundation, right? That is the profitability in your business, to be brutally honest. And then the depth of legs, the depth of your business is then the structural and like the certainty. Right? You want deep businesses also, but you can only earn 5 generations deep, but you want it deep as it can go, because that's really that certainty and that strong structure. But the foundation is about going wide, and you have every possibility to go as wide as you want to, right? To be able to earn 5 generations deep, and it looks like a Christmas tree, right? Because you think about like the depth that goes, it looks like a Christmas tree. I can earn 5 generations on every leg, but then think about how deep it can go and how wide that those people can go. Yeah, no business is going to look perfect. Yeah, but you get that going wide is key. Okay, so it can look like that. 3 Club can look like that. 3 Club can also look like you've helped 3 people get to SDVF. Yeah, and then you've helped them qualify. It can be like 2 here, 1 here. Yeah, it doesn't need to look perfect, but it's about the duplication. And I always say for every 5 people that you bring in, this has kind of been my equation all along. Now, it might not be 5 people. You might get 5 rock stars in at once. And you're like, yes, my odds are amazing. Won't always be like that. Yeah, so you bring 5 people in. 1 person will get it. They will get to SDVF. Yeah, you could even get 2. My odds are different sometimes. But 1 to 2 will get it. Get to SDVF, right? Be in the game. 1 person will want it, say they want it, not do the work, not willing to do the work, and 2 people will go missing. Or 2 people will say they want it, not do the work, fluff about a bit, tell you they want it, watch their feet, not their lips, by the way, and 1 person will go missing. You'll sign them up and they just won't respond to a message, right? Or they'll bring on 1 customer and go missing. Just how it is. Right? This is not for everyone. And if it was, you know what? Wouldn't work. Wouldn't work. Right? This business model would not work. So it's about every month having a goal around new team members and then doing the work, right? It's just getting in front of your schedule, right? Putting in all the non-negotiables, the kids after school things, the work, right? It's not about taking over your life. It's about slotting it into stolen moments. So it's like putting all the non-negotiables in your diary. And then you find the time for this, and then setting an intention for the day. So yes, you've got your high paying activities like starting new conversations and talking to people, right? That's the number 1. If you're not growing your network and if you are not talking to people, then you can forget it. If you think you are just going to post, right, and use social media that way and not get out and talk to people and ask good quality questions, you're not going to build a business. People say, oh, Lauren, you're the social media like guru. I'm like, I'm not. I learned from Katie Ravey. I watched what she did. And I was like, I'm going to be that. And Adam wanted to be John Holabody, so it was very fitting at the time. But I've built my whole business on events. Talking to people, building my network, talking to people, events, right? Just like the system that I set up today is not I set up, right? It's Adam's system. But it's like, are you out there creating curiosity? That might be face-to-face, right? That might be talking to people via message. That might be calling people, not cold calling people. If you went to Simon Mitchell's event, right, he's like, no cold calling, it doesn't work anymore. Will it work on some level? Of course. But that's what I used to do in PT, and I was never going to do it again. So, you know, talking to people face to face, putting yourself in social situations. But first of all, you got to know your tribe, and we'll talk about that in a minute. You know, the next part then is getting them to an event. Now, if they're saying no between creating curiosity, sharing stories, and, you know, you saying, hey, best way to see what we do and learn a little bit more is to see an event. You know, if I sent you a link to something, would you watch it? They're saying no, then you've said too much. You know, and there's nothing. People say, how do I share? You've got to find your elevator pitch, right? We talk about elevator pitches. If you're stuck in an elevator with someone for 30 seconds, however long it takes, right? What would you say if they asked you one question and what do you do? What would you say, right? What would you say? And having your elevator pitch, all it does is a hook to get people to ask you more. Because if they're interested, they'll ask you, so what's that about? If they change the subject to the weather, they're not interested, right? So is having that elevator pitch. You know, I used to say something like, you know, I'm still in PT. I'm a personal trainer. That's actually what I do full time. But on the side, I actually have a little online business where I help and coach women how to create an income online. What do you do? Right? And they're just like, if they're interested, they'll be like, oh, that sounds really interesting. Oh, I'm an accountant. Sorry, I just picked the like most boring job in my head that I could think of. And it's always an accountant. I'm just like, oh my God, could you imagine? I kill myself. Sorry if there's any accountants in this team. I'm just like, oh my God, I can't even do my own. I pay someone very good to do it. So what was I saying? Oh yeah. So they're like, I'm an accountant. That sounds really interesting. So how do you do that? Right. And there's nothing in that moment that you can say, right? There's nothing in that moment that you can say that can explain it. Because the moment you mention a product, they put them like this wall up of like, oh, I've heard of those before, or I'm not a health professional, or, you know, all of that. They don't buy the product. They don't. And they don't buy a business or a franchise, because a lot of people, like, that scares them. Oh my God, businesses, they sound hard work. They buy you. They buy in a hope and a dream that you can help them achieve something. And the only way that they can see it is through the event. Right? The success stories, the everyday people, the stumbling, like I mess them up all the time. Like the stumbling, like, oh, this isn't perfect. I could do this. But it's like, it's that story, that why, that vision that people have that share, that gets them intrigued and interested to go, you know what, maybe I could do this. Right? So it's getting them curious enough to go, I wonder what this is, to get them to a point of like, you know, oh, if you're interested, I'd love to be able to send you something. You know, are you on Facebook? If it's out and about, like, you on Facebook, you know, just my hairdresser. I went to a different hairdresser the other day to give you guys an idea of how it works out and about. You know, I go to one of my friends. She's actually a customer of Cats on the product, and we both go to her as a hairdresser. And but someone else had to put my color on, and I just got talking to her. She's like, okay, like, what do you do? And I was just like, you know, and Amy's looking at me, and I'm like, oh God, I'm getting tested here, because she used to go to school with us, and just like, oh, I have an online business, and that's all I said. And she's like, that's cool. Like, what do you do? She was quite young, and I'm just like, oh, I coach women how to create an income online. You know, I love it because I love to travel, and this business has built my lifestyle that I get to travel and work and teach other people, and, you know, have an amazing time. And she's just like, that sounds really interesting. I'm like, awesome. She's like, can I have more information? Only women. I only deal with women. And I'm just like, you know, and she's like, that's really interesting. How do you do it? And I'm like, what gets your interest? She's like, well, I really like travel, and obviously I don't earn much as a hairdresser. She was very open. Amy's her boss. And I'm just like, awesome. You know, do you have Facebook? And she's like, yep. And I'm like, here you go. Right? Adam Westwick 101. Here you go. Here's my phone. Add yourself in. She adds herself in. And then before I could even message her and be like, hey, babe, nice to meet you. Thanks for my color. Looks amazing. I'm kidding. And thank you so much. You know, great to meet you today. Hey, you know, if you wanted, I know you said you were interested. If you still want that info, let me know. She messaged me. But if she hadn't messaged me, that's what I'm doing. I'm not like, here's the information. Watch it. I'm in there complimenting her, thanking her, nice to meet you, you know, hey, if you still wanted that info, let me know and I'll shoot it over to you. Right? It's just like cool, calm, build rapport with people. People go, how do I know when to put the Juice Plus hat on? Don't put it on because it makes you a little crazy. Is just take a chill pill and get to know people, right? Get to ask good questions. I put that link up from Linda, you know, with all of those questions. Get to know people. When I'm listening to Adam, he's just asking questions like, you know, do you like working here? I'm like, well, it's a bit rude. You're making assumptions that they don't like working in a cafe. And they're just like, oh, yeah, like I'm a uni student and it fits in with my timetable. And, you know, he's just like, cool, like, what are you doing at uni? Like, tell me what you're passionate about. But he's just getting to know people. And he gets them to a point that they're like, so what do you do? And he's like, oh, I have an awesome business online and I help and coach people how to create income online. And, you know, I love it. And he shares why. Yeah. And it's just get to know people to a point where they're interested enough to ask about you, right? Because you've taken enough interest in them. So stop putting your crazy Juice Plus hat on, take a chill pill, put your normal person hat on and ask questions. Get good at building rapport. The moment you can build trust, rapport, and relatability with people, right? You count as a woman, Greg. The moment you can build trust and rapport with people quickly, effectively, the moment you will build a bigger business, right? Because it truly is based on relationships, on building rapport. People will not buy into you. They will not look at your products, buy into your business unless they know, like, and trust you first, right? I know my incredible clients, right, have stayed with me on Juice Plus or with PT. I had clients for 2.5 years, never missed a session. Yeah, unless they were like on deathbed, because I built no like rapport and trust with them, that they were just on point, on focus. They wanted to do what they wanted to do. So 3 Club looks like that, right? You get to SDVF, you qualify, you help other people do the same. And it truly only comes by you putting lots of people in the funnel, right? In that funnel. But first you got to know who your tribe is. So for those that did Sai today, I'm sorry, but this is going to be repeated because this is what I learned from him. And when I got clear on this, my business boomed. That's when the Girl Boss movement was created, I guess you could say. I did not build a brand, a business page until I was a QNMD, almost an NMD. I built it in April of 2016, last year. And I went NMD in June 2017. So if you think you need a brand and a business page and to be all fancy, you know, it's just not true. Stick to what you are good at and your strategy, and the low-hanging fruit first, as I would always say, right? That low-hanging fruit, which is your timeline, which is building your network through that. If you're not doing that and you're not prepared to pay hundreds of dollars per month through a business page, it's not going to happen. I invest at least, and I get a BIB, so a business incentive bonus through my business, of say $3,000 a month, $2,500 a month, and I spend at least $800 investing into my business page, right? Growing ads, growing pages, and I pay probably $200 per quality person that signs up. How many conversations do I have to have? A shit ton, right? Through paid advertisements, things like that. So get clear on your tribe, because then you can speak directly to them. Okay, and you can get clear on your tribe before you ever go and build a business page per se, and do that. So what is your tribe's age? Okay, and it needs to range in at least a 9-10 year maximum age bracket. So mine's 26 to 36. Okay, they're the age of people that I want to work with. Okay, not too young. And I'm not going to say not too old, but I like to work with people like mid to late 30s. Okay, then ask yourself, what is the gender? Okay, do you want to work with males or females? So understand your tribe's gender and understand specifically. So mine is single mums. Okay, so they're female. So my targets are level 40 plus women. So it can't be 40 plus. Okay, that's too broad. Do you think a 40-year-old and a 60-year-old want totally different things? Correct, right? So I've got to open the chart just so I can see it. So it's got to be within a 10-year range, because the 40 and 60-year-olds, they're at different stages of their life. Right? 40-year-olds might be still having kids. Yeah. So 60-year-olds might be, on their way to retirement or retired. So they're completely different. So within 10, and it needs to be a bit more broader, right? 23 over here. Are you only 23, Shannon? Jeez, you act a lot older than you actually are. Okay, so credit to you. It's probably because you're a mum. But, for me, but that doesn't mean to say like a 23-year-old comes, can I join your business? I'm like, no, piss off. You're not my tribe. Sorry, bye-bye. Yeah, it's just to be able to speak to those people through posts and things that I'm going to teach you. So male and female. So me specifically, can't say that word, right? It's single mums. Okay, school-age children and maybe one smaller, or maybe like a newborn baby, maybe they've gone back to that, but school-age children, and they're female. Okay, how do they spend their day? Okay, this is like really key important when you try to understand who you're talking to, when you're posting, when you're doing live videos, when you build a team, when you're doing your training. So for me, I know a lot of you mums want to go to bed, but 7:30 isn't realistic sometimes because kids are terrors and they don't want to go to bed. Right, so maybe a bit later, maybe when they're napping, things like that, or when they're at school. So spend their day. Mine is stay-at-home mum. So they spend their day on Facebook or social media groups to meet other mums, to be able to feel connected. They spend their day cleaning and household duties. Sounds amazing, right? Who wouldn't want a business to get out of that? Yeah, so understand how they spend their day. Are they spending their day working? But what job are they? Are they in labor field jobs? Are they in corporate jobs? What sort of jobs are they doing? How do they fill their days? Are they working in daycares? Are they working in the education system? How are they filling their days? Awesome. That's probably a bit too broad, Sandra. Like that's 26 years right there. I like to keep it 10 because it teaches you in targeting aspects of Facebook. The broader you go, the harder it is to target. The more specific you go, it's easier. How do they spend their money? Okay, mine is on child hobbies, so like dancing, things like that. Rent, because they don't have enough money, they're single mums, to own their own house. Household necessities, they shop at places like Woolworths and Kmart. School fees, because they value good education, right? That's specific. It's really specific on how they spend their money, right? Your people, right, might be corporate workers from the ages of 30 to 40, and they spend their money in Louis Vuitton, right? How you market for those two different demographics is very different. How you talk to those people is very different. What are their hobbies? Health classes, so like Les Mills classes, coffee catch-ups, online study, because they're trying to better their life. So they're their hobbies. So really get specific on what sort of hobbies they have. Challenges, money, right? Challenges, money, living off Centrelink and week to week, being a single parent, so lack of community and support. They're their challenges in life, right? What are your tribe's challenges in life? Dreams, to own their own home, the princess happily ever after, right? Everyone wants it. Spend money on themselves without the guilt, a lifestyle upgrade, so buy a new car, not having to live off secondhand things, to have a savings account that grows every month, to take the kids on a holiday and stay in nice hotels and say yes on those holidays. That's specific, right? Get specific on what are their dreams, because then you understand how to project through Facebook. So you're talking specifically to your target, right? And I love it. Girls, if you went to Sai over the weekend, Sydney, Melbourne, he tells you guys, get specific. When I got really specific, my Facebook all came together because I was speaking directly to those people. And I'm not a single mum. Yeah, I'm not a single mum. I don't know what it's like to be a single mum, but I can talk to those people when I understand kind of what are their hopes and dreams, what are their challenges, and go to where your tribe are and speak their language. And find strategies that work for you. And so we talked about it, through Messenger. Messenger is a strategy, through your Facebook. But are you out there openly sharing this business, right? And if you haven't contacted your warm market, and actually what Simon did, and I'm going to do it because it honestly, I've been to so much of his stuff. He's one of my best friends. But how he described this was brilliant. And I was like, oh my God, how have I never seen that before? Let me find it. So he talks about circles of influence, right? And I have to find it because I don't want to get it wrong. So the small circle is your major influence. So who are you a major influencer of? So does someone call you up when they make big decisions, like having a baby, buying a house, changing career paths? Like you're a major influencer on that person. Yeah, so maybe you have a major influencer in your life, and maybe you're a major influencer. So that person or those people will come and talk to you at one stage or another about your business, right? I'm not a major influencer, Katrina, but she watched enough to then come and take a closer look. So who can you be a major influencer on? Yeah, and then you've got your minor influencer. So again, they might call you for small stuff. They might take your opinion. They'll at least ask for your opinion. They might take it. They might not. Right. So who are you a minor influencer on? Or, you think about your kids, things like that. You could be major or minor influences on them. And you've got minor influences in your life. And the biggest circles, and this is what makes the most sense, they're allies. Okay. They should sometimes be kept as allies. So many people, we were, my best friend, my sister, my brother, or my mum, or my dad, right? And they could just be your biggest supporters, and they could be kept as allies. And yet we want to turn them into business people. We want to spew on them, right? And then maybe not be allies anymore. So understand that you're allies. Maybe you should just be kept as allies. Yeah. Awesome. My computer's on 7% actually. And then the next one out is the connection circle. Okay. And then unknown circle, right? And then that's it. And then this was funny because we made this the fuck off circle. So if people are neg ferrets too, they can go in that circle. You can't see it because there's light on it, but it's pretty funny. We only made it because we're like, what about all the neg ferrets? And he's like, oh, we can send them to the fuck off island. So the major influences, the minor influences, the allies like your mum, your dad, your friends, your family, the connection circle, and the unknown circle. So the connection circle might be you just connected on social media. So many people will come to me and they'll be like, this person contacted me, I don't know who they are. And I'm like, how'd you know them? And they're like, social media. I'm like, okay, it's a connection circle, right? And then the unknown circle. So the people you don't even know yet, you haven't even met yet, they're out there, they're waiting to hear something for like this, and they're in the unknown circle. So it's about building a network, right? Building into that connection circle. And it's not about making the connection circle allies and the allies minor influences and the minors majors, right? It's not about rubbing on people until they become into each circle, but it's about understanding that. So when we start this business, we ask people to do the scariest thing, to contact their allies, right? To make a list of your friends and family, right? Instead, get that out of your head, right? And think, yes, the connection circle, the unknown circle, they're the biggest, right? They're the ones that you can build influence into, right? You can have an influence on down the track. So growing your network and being seen on social media as an influencer is key in this business. But who's in your life right now that you haven't even spoken to because you've prejudged that they wouldn't be into this? And it's a conversation of like, hey, babe, I have no idea if this is for you, right? Obviously setting up the connection, rebuilding the rapport, doing all those good things, and then having a conversation of like, some other reason I reached out is I have no idea if you've seen, I have this little online business that I just started. I'm super excited. For me, it's about changing, my career path, or about changing my life or helping people. And I just couldn't help to think of you. I have no idea if this could be for you, but I really just wanted your opinion and wanted to share what it is with you. If I sent you a link to something, would you watch it? Or if you haven't launched your business yet, heaven forbid, I'll slap you if you put your hand up and say that. But if you haven't launched yet, it's like, hey, I'm having a launch event. I'd love your opinion. Who are the major minor influences in your life that would just love to give you their opinion, right? Because they're major and minor influences and they have some sort of influence on you. So you're like, hey, I would just love your opinion on it. I'm excited. I know this won't be for you, but I just love your opinion on what I'm up to. If I sent you a quick link, would you take a look at it? Right? How many people have you not had that conversation with yet? It might not be in your allies, but it might be in your minor major influence circles, or it might even be in your connection circle, right? Or it might be that you share it with your allies of a place like, hey, I know this isn't for you, but who else, like who do you know in your life that would love to know about this? I'm excited because, and I just really wanted to share it with other people. I know this won't be for you, but who in your life, might be interested? I sent you a link to something. Would you take a look? It's so simple to be able to have those conversations once you've built that rapport. Getting them to an event. Once they've seen an event, they've got questions or they're excited. Now, if they say no at any other point in the system, then it's not for them. And that's cool. It's not for everyone. It's not about convincing. But if they've got limiting beliefs of like, yeah, it looks really interesting, but I'm not sure if I could be that person, if they've got questions, then it's like, totally, I understand. I know how you feel. I felt the same way. But what I found is, like it's nothing like that. I don't have to be that person. They're teaching me and, this is what I found. And then it's like pop them in that 3-way chat with your upline or your leader and let them have a chat. You're learning at the same time. It's not a free-for-all of like you just sit there on the call and like, woohoo, right? Joe's doing it all for me or Denise is doing it all for me. You're learning because guess what? They're going to hand you the pen in a couple of chats time and be like, okay, you got this now, right? It's about building independent leaders. If you want to get to that 3-club position, it's not, you can get there by doing it for them. Been there, done that, right? You can get to that position doing things for them, but is not going to empower leaders to rise in your business, and become independent. We're not here to push you, okay, to do it for you, because that's not empowering anyone. We're here to teach you, to link arms if that's what you want to do and do this, right? But that 3-club position is about teaching and handing over the baton and teaching independent leaders. The more independent that you can become as quickly as possible, the better, right? Adam will jump on things for me every now and again. Right? If I have a face down moment or I want to quit or I have a hissy fit, yeah, he'll jump on, he'll like slap me around. We've got a good enough friendship, but he doesn't do it for me anymore, right? And nor should he 3 years down the track. But he kind of gave me the pen 2 weeks in and I was like, oh my God. But it forced me to step up and grow, right? So if you're not at least, jumping on your team's events and doing your stories, right, and learning from them and jumping on trainings, yeah, but then not getting that false sense of like, I'm building my business, I'm on a training. You got to take the action. Yeah, you got to take that action afterwards. And all of you on here, now there are 40-something people in that group. Now, some of them are leaders that are well past 3-club, but they put their hand up to be in there. And so thank you guys. And they will add value through the course of this next 90 days. But, like there are only at best 22 people on tonight. And I get that it's 9 o'clock, but some of them made excuses and some of them are on here. I get that some are on other events and that's not an excuse. They're totally fine. But some of them made excuses. Some of them might even be watching TV right now, right? But if you want to be, right, the person that gets to the end of the 90 days, it'll be interesting to see the numbers at the end of it, to see how many people truly make it to 3-club, because all of you can, right? All of you can. Some of you have got SDVFs in your team, right? Some of you have already, one step ahead of the rest. Some of you aren't, but all of you can create at least 3 SDVFs in your team, bare minimum, and help them qualify in the next 90 days. All of you can get the $500 bonus from head office, an extra 100 from me, right? And I'm not just giving it to the first one. I will give it to each and every one of you that do it out of my paycheck, right? Because I believe in you. I think it's a great milestone to get to. Or you can have, I know Desi wanted the $100, or you can have it in a gift voucher of your choice. So obviously I live on the Gold Coast, so I can't, take you out, right? Kmart. I'm like, You buy a lot for $100, right? Okay, all of you can get there. It's just how much you want it. It's just how much you want and how much you're willing to work for it. But go in, first of all, what is it going to mean to you? First of all, map it out, right? Do what I did. I would put, and this might scare some of you, right? But I would make a document, and I'd say that I'd make it for you, but I probably won't. I don't know if you met me, but organization isn't my strong suit. I would put a document or just do it on paper and stick it somewhere. Yeah, at least 8. I just couldn't do 8. At least 8 frontline. That might scare some of you. Guess what? Nothing good ever came from the safe zone, right? I hate the word comfort zone. So the safe zone, nothing good ever came from it, right? But and I said this on my speech at Anaheim, the NMD on stage, and I did not write a speech for that. It just came to me, and I said, it's the heart that makes it great. And I actually got it from a movie. One of my favorite movies, A League of Their Own, right? And he said, and I remember watching it as a kid, and he's like, it's not the good that makes it great, right? It's the heart. It's when you skin your knees and, blood, sweat, and tears. It's a baseball movie if you don't know what it is. It's one of my favorites. 8 frontline. Because out of 8, I promise you, you can get at least 3 to SDVF if you follow that system and we get them started strong. It's not your job to buy into people's excuses. It's not my job to buy into yours, right? It's not my job to buy into your limiting belief. It's not my job to buy into your excuse if it's too hard, right? If it's too hard, it's too hard. Yeah, but think about the cost of not getting there, right? And don't let fear drive you for too long, at least, right? Be fueled by pleasure. Be fueled by what this can give you. I let pain and fear drive me for far too long. Yeah, so it's about what this can give you and what it can give your family. But put 8 and then start to fill them in. And it's about every day setting an intention. So set monthly goals. Reevaluate. Right now it's the 20th. You set a goal at the start of the month to have this many team members or to have this many new customers. How far are you off your goal? And if you're nowhere near it, then don't throw the paper up in the air, but go, who do I need to become to reach that goal? What do I need to learn? What do I need to do? And set daily intentions. Daily intentions kick my butt more than monthly goals ever will. Set a monthly goal, then I set a daily intention. Set a daily intention to do, 3 follow-ups. Set a daily intention to talk to us, and I set these all the time because they really kick my butt. I set a daily intention that I'm going to sign up 1 new team member today. And then I have to do whatever it takes, right? Whatever it takes, however many follow-ups, conversations, usually they're coming from follow-ups, and to sign that new team member up. And I'm not saying come from a place of desperation, right? But set yourself daily intentions that today, I'm going to sign up 1 new customer, and you do whatever it takes to do that. Is get really outcome driven, not outcome focused, outcome driven. So driven on that long-term outcome in the next 90 days to get to 3 club is honestly, if you could just get 1 new SDVF every single month, okay, you're going to get, and then help them qualify, you're going to get there. Yeah, but set daily intentions to really kick your butt and find an accountability buddy, whether you do it within this group. I say don't make it your upline because we don't want to feel like a boss. Sometimes I do. Like Jay, and I'm sure she doesn't mind me sharing this, Jay will be like, Lauren, you've got to kick my butt. Right? And I'm like, I don't want to feel like a boss because I do. I don't want to. I was that for too long. So go and find someone outside that has no genuine vested interest. Not that I'm saying I kick your butt for my benefit financially. I want to see you win. Right? I get paid quite a good sum of money, right? And at the end of the day, I want to see you guys win. I'm not doing this for my benefit financially. This business is about helping people and raising people up to where you are. And if you guys put your hand up that you wanted it, right? And it's about finding those people in your business that want it, right? And if you've got people in your business and they're like, they're not inspired right now, it's about, do they know what's on the table? Do they know what's genuinely possible? And then it's about having a conversation with them. It's not about convincing them, right? So let them convince you that this isn't important, but it's about that stake in the ground. So why did they come into it? And is that still important? And do you even know, you could get to SDVF this month, or you could get to SC, or you could, helping you get back on board and pick this business up again, you could earn a little bit extra money. What would that do for you? And people lose sight because they don't know what's possible, or they can't see it, or they don't believe they can achieve it. It's not your job to convince them that they can. Like, ask them questions, right? Get them on an upline call, learn from your upline good quality questions of like, okay, so you don't think you can do this? Convince me. Tell me all the reasons why you can't do it. And I'll listen, and I'll be like, awesome. But what if you could? Like, there's that small percentage that you could. What if you could, right? It's about helping them, see that potentially they could do this, potentially, right? But set yourself that task, fill that out. And every time, then you can get excited, because so many times we don't see how far we've come. We see how far left we've got to go. If you've ever run a marathon, it's exactly how it goes. And so when you start to sign people up, you can start to color those circles in, right? You can start to put those people's names in so it comes to life. So you can really genuinely see that you really are building this business, and you can get a light. I can say my business is good. If I put it on paper, I'm like, oh, I have a bit to go, right? And so I go, because we can tell, yeah, I'm building business. Cool, how many team members do you have? Oh, none. Awesome, so you're not building a business. You're telling yourself you are, right? But you're not genuinely doing it. So here you can start to see. And then this person might be like, my God, they have 2 team members of their own. What are they doing, right? What are they doing that's working so well, right? And maybe these people don't want it as much. And oh my God, this person, they've already duplicate 2 line and they've got 1. Like, what are they doing? Might be just that they want it a little bit more and they're putting in a bit more action, or maybe they launched their business, maybe this person didn't. Maybe this person's having conversations and building their network and this person's not. You can start to see it come to life. And that's the beauty, when you see it come to life and you see it start to duplicate. So all of you can be 3 Club, right? It's just about following that system and plugging in. And I laugh at myself that was ever going to be half an hour, because it's been an hour. My computer says 2%. So does any single person have a question that lasts about 8 seconds? Because that's how long my computer will last for. And I just got to make sure that I hit stop. So I might hit stop now, so it definitely records. And then you guys can ask any questions until my computer dies.